Here I've created a simple form where I'm going to demonstrate array processing. So as you can see, my form just has a list box on it. It's got a label. It has a button on it. But first, what I'm going to do before I do any work here is I'm going to create an array. I'm going to create my array as a class level variable so that everybody in this form is going to have access to it. And then I'm going to put some code in the what's called the load event. A load event is when you click on the green run button, anything that's in the load event will automatically execute. So to create a load event, you just double click on an empty place on the form. So I've got some code here I'm going to take out for just a second. But you'll see here's my load event. So anything I put in here will execute when the form loads. I've created a class level array here called int units. The maximum subscript is 4, so int units is going to hold 5 integers. Okay, and notice that this is right under public class form 1. That means everybody will have access to it. Now inside here I have some code. What I'm going to do in this code is I'm going to set up a for loop that starts a counter, int count at 0 up to the maximum subscript, so it's going to go from 0 to 4. And every time through the loop, it will prompt with an input box that says enter the number of units, and it'll take whatever's entered by the user and it'll store it in the int units array. So the first time through it'll store something in int units sub 0, then int units sub 1, then sub 2, then sub 3, then sub 4. And then what it's going to do is it's going to go through a for loop again, but this time what it's going to do is it is going to take what's currently in the array int units. Again, sub int count would start off at 0, so it'll take what's at index 0 and it's going to just put it back in my list box. So let's see how this code executes. Right, when the form loads, I'm going to put in 11 units, 22 units, 33 units, 44 units, 55 units, and that's what happened. They just went into the list box. So I want to process array now. Process this array. I'm going to click on. I'm going to create this button event here. Calculate total units. So I'm going to stop this from running. Go back to my form, and I'm going to click on this button event. So what I want to do is I want to accumulate a sum of all the elements that are in there. So first I'm going to declare a variable int sum as integer. Okay, and then I'm going to create a for loop, and again I'm using int count above. You can call this whatever you want. You know, I might call it int index just so I'm using something different here. Okay, and to accumulate the sum I would say int sum plus equals, and I'm going to take whatever is in my array and I'm going to add it to the sum. So when I'm at int unit sub 0, it'll put that in int sum, and then I'll take what's in int unit sub 1 and add that into int sum. And then when I'm all finished, I'm going to take this sum and I'm going to put it on the label that's on my form. Okay, so I'm going to run this now. Right? And then when I click on calculate total units, it adds that up for me. Okay? So a simple example of array processing. There's other examples in the book that you should review to find the smallest value in an array, find the largest value in an array. It shows you how to search for something in the array, how to sort for something in the array. Those are all very common examples of array processing.